Welcome back to the Bite-Sized Assistive Technology Professional Development Series. I'm Alicia Drelick from the LRC-South. Earlier in the series, we looked at what assistive technology is, AT considerations for the IEP, and text-to-speech tools. Later, we'll examine some assistive technologies to support executive functioning skills. In this fourth session, we'll be taking a look at speech-to-text tools. You might be seeing a speech-to-text tool right now if you're accessing the transcript to this presentation. Again, speech-to-text tools are widely available and are used in various ways to support student learning. Speech-to-text is an assistive technology tool that allows a user to speak into a tablet or any particular device, and it generates text. It is now used for a wide population of students who have difficulty writing or with spelling or their fine motor skills. By using voice typing or speech to text, students can really focus on the content rather than spelling, mechanics, or handwriting. It should be noted that it may take some specific training in order to really leverage this tool to be effective. We'll talk a bit more about that throughout the presentation. Again, we'll talk specifically about how this tool can be used with students, but do keep in mind that you as a teacher can use this tool to provide transcripts for some of your lectures or to provide an extra set of notes if you are narrating anything for videos in your class. Let's start by looking at some of the benefits for speech to text. First, it can increase accessibility and engagement for students who are using this within demonstrating their knowledge in writing. It can increase writing productivity because it can reduce hand fatigue or really increase accessibility by reducing those barriers of spelling and mechanics. It can help students build writing skills because, again, they're really focusing on the content and not getting caught up by barriers that traditionally pose as a means of fear or anxiety around the writing process. Ultimately, this can really increase student independence with writing and help them master some grade level content and standards in writing. Many tools and operating systems have speech to text built in. You'll also see some websites that have these tools built in for educational purposes. So if you're using a website that has a microphone within a traditional text box, this can be something that students can use built in to a website. You'll also see if you have a smartphone or a tablet device, many times you will see a microphone that's built directly onto the keyboard. That is often a way to automatically turn on the speech to text tool so that your voice can begin to generate speech for a text message or an email. These built-in speech-to-text tools are also in Google Docs, as well as Microsoft Word and the entire Microsoft and Google suites. Built in, you also have Apple and Microsoft dictation tools that can be used within an operating system to both navigate around a computer as well as generate text with your voice. There are additional Chrome extensions as well as premium programs that can be used to provide a more customized tool as needed for students. Some of them include speech to text or dictation docs, and some of the more popular premium programs are Kurzweil 3000 as well as Text Helps Read and Write. Let's take a quick look at how voice typing works within Google. I just pulled up a Google Doc, and within the Tools section, we can see that there is the option for voice typing, which is this little microphone. You can also use the shortcut Control-Shift-S in order to bring up the microphone prompt. If I hover over the microphone, I can pull up the Help menu, which does provide some great information about how to effectively use this tool. You may first see a prompt to allow access to the microphone within your computer, and then you can begin to type with your voice. Down at the bottom here for step 3, they give you some voice commands, and I will try and model some of these commands, and you can see why it's important to provide some training in order to use these tools the most effectively. So let's get to it and start a model. In order to get this to work, I'm just going to go ahead and click the microphone. Speech to Text technology is a tool that can be used with students as young as kindergarten, period. Students can show what they know using their voice to provide captions to illustrations or write a short story, period. New paragraph. Knowing the commands can help you use this tool even more effectively, period. With proper training, students can become more effective in typing. Delete last word. Writing, period. Let's reduce the barrier to effective writing together, exclamation point. Select last 2 words. Select last 2 words. Select last line. Bold. As you can see, there are different tools that you can use, and there are different features that you activate with your particular voice, such as changing the format and adding punctuation. Looking through this narrative, we can see that we used punctuation, but it didn't capitalize the next letter. So students still need to go in and edit that information. If you're using this in conjunction with a premium editor like Grammarly or even the built-in editing tool within Google Docs, students can begin to see the need to go back and edit their text. So understanding how to utilize the voice commands most effectively can really support students in crafting and composing a strong narrative. Let's look at some of the considerations when you're thinking about using this tool. So first, this tool is absolutely excellent and highly recommended for students who have motor barriers. So whether that is they have limited fine motor skills, or they have a fatigue or even a temporary barrier such as a broken arm. This tool can really be used to allow them to continue to demonstrate their knowledge through writing. As we saw with the quick demo in Google Voice, modeling and training can really be required to make this effective. So we can have just an ongoing narrative that can be typed, and then we can get back into editing later if we're using this in the pre-writing phase. But if voice typing is going to be used to thoroughly compose a document, using the speech tools that are built in are really key. 2 big considerations when we are thinking about which tool might be most effective for students is really understanding their speech and language needs. So we want to ensure that students have an accuracy and speed within their speech so that they can effectively utilize this tool without frustration. If students do not have the grade level accuracy and speed in their speech, they might need a tool that needs to be customized, which is often one of the premium tools. If you have emerging bilingual students, you may need a particular tool that does mixed language detection. This allows users to speak in various languages, and it will type and produce that particular language, as well as having a better means of understanding and taking dictation from a voice with an accent. As always, if you're using this tool, especially with a student with disabilities, we want to make sure that we're documenting their needs and documenting the effectiveness of a tool so that we can write this into an IEP if it is found to be effective. We want to build procedures within our classroom to promote the effective use. That can be securing and utilizing headphones with microphones and finding places in your classroom that you can use voice typing to minimize distractions. We want to make sure that we are leveraging this tool to really build writing skills. That can be done throughout the writing process, during brainstorming, drafting, or even editing and revising. Speech to text can be used in extremely limited ways. For example, if a student can't spell a word and spell check isn't providing them with the correct word, they can use speech to text to say the word in order to get it to generate in text, or they can use it to compose a whole document. We want to be sure to provide students with opportunities to practice as well as model this tool in our teaching. I hope you join us for our last session of assistive technology training from the LRC South through this module.